If you're like me, you probably feel stuck in constant reaction mode. The mountain of to-dos piling up in every single direction, and even when you finally get a free moment, your brain's too scattered to step back and have any vision for where your life is heading. Without time for deep reflection, you end up just repeating the same routines, working hard, but not necessarily moving closer to the life that you want. That's why I want to show you a practice called a Think Day. Now, I came across this recently, and it's a simple reset that you can do once a month to slow down, cut out distractions, and focus on the big questions that shape your future. And in this video, I'm going to go over the basic protocol that's going to help you set up your own Think Day, as well as the 8 essential prompts that you need to ask yourself. And if you follow this regularly, this can have a transformative impact on your life trajectory. If we haven't met, hi, my name's Joseph, and I make videos about how to live a regret-free life, among other things. Now, I came across this method in Sahil Bloom's book, The 5 Types of Wealth. And this might sound familiar to you because, most famously, Bill Gates has something that he calls a Think Week. And this is where he takes 1 week of his life to go to a cabin where he reads books, looks at different articles, and just take time to think out the different directions and actions that he wants to take in his businesses. Now, I think taking a full Think Week is not quite achievable for the average person. So that's why I think this adaptation that Sahil came up with is so powerful. All right, let's start at the beginning. The first thing that you need to do is you just need to plan ahead and pick one day that you can set aside and plan on stepping back from work and life demands on that day to do this Think Day. Now, of course, if a full day isn't reasonable for you, I think this can even be done in a half day and you can still get quite good results. Plan a day that you can shut off your devices and just spend the whole day thinking, learning, and journaling. Now, the essential tools for this are as follows: a journal and a pen. Now, I'm not a big journaler by any means, but there's definitely some scientific research that says that when you use a pen and write stuff on a physical piece of paper, that does something different than just typing it into your phone. So this is super important. Now, the next thing that you might want to bring is books or articles that you want to read, and ideally, these will be in an offline state. And that would be like if you download them to a Kindle or some other device that's not connected to the internet. And the third essential ingredient in this is a secluded location. Now, this doesn't have to be out in the middle of nowhere. This can just be a location that's outside of your normal environment, and it can be like a coffee shop, a local park, or something of that nature. Now, of course, ideally, if you could just leave your phone behind, that would be the best. But if not, having it powered off or even just in a dedicated focus mode works quite well as well. And the other thing you want to leave out from this is any music. You really want to leave this time and this space as a place for your mind to think. And to allow your mind to do that most effectively, you need to cut down the amount of inputs that are going to be coming into your mind during this time. All right, now this leads us to the 8 essential thinking prompts that Sahil puts forward in the book that you need to answer during this Think Day. If I repeated my current day for 100 days, would my life be better or worse? And something that you could add on to that prompt is even, what is one thing I can add to my life that would improve the trajectory of it? If people observe my actions for a week, what would they say my priorities are? If I were the main character in a movie, what would the audience be screaming at me to do right now? Am I mainly hunting antelope, which are big, important problems, or field mice, small, seemingly urgent problems? What's one way that I can do less, but do it better? What are my strongest beliefs, and what would it take to change my mind on some of these things? What are a few things that I know now that I wish I had known 5 years ago? And the final prompt is, what actions did I engage in 5 years ago that I cringe at today? And what actions am I engaged in today that I might cringe at in 5 years from now? And a final word of advice that Sahil puts forward in how to structure this that I think is crucial for this going really well is to aim for an 8-hour window of 60-minute focused blocks. And in between each of those blocks, you would do a short walk. Now, why I think this is so critical is because there's something about movement that really helps when our brain is trying to do this kind of deep thinking. And that really helps break up these focused windows. It's not trying to sit in one place for hours and hours and hours. It kind of helps break up the day, and you can do different things. You can tackle a few of the prompts in one window, and then you can do some reading and some thinking in another. You can also fill in some open time to just think or to meditate. You can do quite a few different things, but ideally you would spread these prompts out throughout the day, doing one at the start of each block, and then doing the other activity, whether it's reading, journaling, thinking, or whatever else gives your mind the space to think during this day. If you want to watch another video about the importance of giving our mind space to think, then check out this video where I talk about the power of doing nothing in a real life experiment that I tried on myself. Share this video if you found it helpful, and we'll see you next time, fam.